So let's talk with the Cozy Bear, who writes in and says, you're giving the opportunity to live in a fictional house from a movie or TV show of your choosing for 1 year. What house do you choose?
So fictional house.
One fictional house.
But not the, like, I could just transplant that house here.
No, I think you have to live with the people.
Yeah, like the family as well.
Like my first thought was Full House.
Oh, fuck
I mean,
yeah.
painted
fuck
ladies,
that, dude.
beautiful
Painted
locations.
ladies.
Yeah.
That's a
Lori
great
Still
story.
get to live in
Laughlin.
town.
You get to live in town still, so it's not that far,
Yeah.
But you do have to live with Bob Saget.
which is annoying. And
But
the
like
other
Danny
and
Tanner, not Bob Saget.
Danny Tanner, which is arguably the more annoying version of Bob Saget.
like I would take, but I would.
But Danny Tanner at least is like a positive guy.
Yeah.
Whereas Bob Saget, like he strikes me as like I don't want to be around this guy in real life.
Bob Saget is a comic. He's a New York comic, I believe, and I would love to have. I think he's passed away, didn't he?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, he did.
He did,
Yeah.
yeah.
It would have been amazing to actually just like just talk to him a little bit during the height of that whole process, because I don't know if you've ever seen Bob Saget stand up.
It's like
not
pretty
clean.
raunchy.
Yeah, no,
right?
it's really
It's
raunchy.
raunchy.
That's what I'm talking about. Where I'm
And
like,
so-
I don't know if I feel like being around him just in general could either be very hilarious or very like, man, this guy's kind of fucked up.
Oh, he's definitely probably fucked up. The one that I worry about, I'm like, would I get along with, or what I hate is cut it out. The other uncle.
Oh, yeah.
Not
Oh, Joey.
Is it Joey?
Yeah.
Because you got Jesse, Joey, and Danny.
The one
right?
that dated
Yeah.
Alanis Morissette.
And then Jesse was dating Lori Laughlin, who then would go on to, of course, go to jail for trying to bribe someone at Harvard to let her daughter in, right?
USC, yeah.
Oh, USC, right? Which is even more embarrassing.
That's
like everyone
super
gets into
embarrassing.
USC.
It's her and Felicity Huffman, right?
Yeah, yeah. And they got
And
caught.
William H. Macy, I guess, by default,
That was
or
a
by
crazy thing to
association.
happen.
That was wild. And what's even wilder about that, and sorry to go off on a tangent here, Mike, but what was wild, because I don't think we ever talked about it. It was wild that they were like, we're going to just make an example out of Lori Laughlin. And she was like, stop. Everyone does this. Everyone tries to pay their way for their kid who maybe didn't study that hard to get into fucking USC. Like,
By being on
USC
the
's not hard to get
crew
into.
team, which is crazy.
Yeah, which
but
is wild. That's like the Martian winning the Golden Globe for best comedy. They're like, well, what are we doing, guys? What do we do? Or the great.
that's a great question.
I pick Full House because I think that house was huge and fun, and there was always something. I always liked that there was always something going on in the house. You know, there was like a basement. Uncle Jesse was a rocker, and then Danny kind of had it locked in, was paying the mortgage, and then I did, even though she's highly Christian and very right, I had a big crush on Candace Cameron
Here,
Bure,
Which one was that?
DJ.
DJ,
Oh,
the older daughter.
She's married, or she's
Yeah.
siblings.
DJ was the
with
oldest sister.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
but then her real life brother,
Is
Growing Pains.
Cameron? No,
No, that's her last name. What's
what's
his
his
name?
first name? Candace Cameron.
I want to say Mike, but that's his name on whatchamacallit.
Chat, you got to help us out here.
Also,
Man,
Chat
Cameron.
asked,
There we go.
He's very, very, very.
Chat
very,
asked the question, which I think
religious.
is good to bring up. Are you living with the actors or the characters?
You're living with the
characters.
characters, yeah.
Okay.
But like, I do love Nick being like, yeah, I want to talk to Bob Saget about like, what the whole process is like. But then he snaps his fingers and he's in the Full House and it's fucking Danny Tanner.
And Danny Tanner was like in advertising for radio.
Yeah, he was
or
like a
whatever the fuck he
weatherman
did.
or some shit.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
doing something stupid.
God.
There's so many.
Also, like you mentioning you having a crush on DJ was definitely like oh man, that show is from what, the 80s? The 90s?
late
Late
80s,
80s,
early
early
90s.
Because it was
94?
also on Nick and Night when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So like it's funny, I almost view it as an early 2000s show, even though I know it's
Oh,
not.
interesting.
Yeah, that's
That
like
whole
me and,
TGIF lineup.
it's like
was
me and
early.
Topanga.
Oh, it's Topanga.
Where like Topanga was like formative for me as a kid. I was
Well,
like,
I will say this.
love that character.
Candace Cameron walked so that Topanga could run. That's all
Wow.
I'll say.
He's gonna
That's
say
all I'll
it.
say.
Wow.
Joey, where would you live?
I have two different answers,
Yeah, give it to
depending
me.
on what kind of life I want to live.
I love
The
that.
first one, obviously, is I'm living in that cool ass house from Gilmore Girls. Lorelai and Rory's house. It's like a cool Connecticut house. I get to live in the town with all the quirky little characters. And like, I get to have, there's the guy, Kirk, who like has a new hustle all the time. And it's like, Kirk, did you just invent Uber? It's the same thing as Uber. He's like, yeah, but it's mine. So it's something else.
Cooper.
And I get to go to dumb little like town hall meetings and stuff like that. That's what I want to do. But I don't want to live there during the winter. I don't
Oh
like
yeah,
snow.
snow sucks.
I don't want to shovel my driveway.
Yeah, fuck
the
that.
second one, I think, is Monica's apartment from Friends. I want to live give me a New York era.
Honestly,
And
real
I want-
talk, yes, because they look like they were fun to hang out with.
Yeah.
They all had stuff going on, and you get to live in New York, in Manhattan, which is cool.
It's a great call.
Yeah, that's what I want.
That's a great one. I was gonna say Seinfeld, but then putting up with Seinfeld would have been annoying.
Exactly, because I thought about that. I thought about Seinfeld. I thought about How I Met
those
Your
four
Mother.
characters, you'd be like, I
and
hate
I was
you
like,
four
no,
characters.
out of all of the New York shows, I think
Interesting. I was
that's
thinking
my
about
best
Kramer's
bet.
apartment, how much fun that would be.
Remember when they opened the Kenny Rogers roastery outside and it was just blinding red light the entire time that made them all crazy? That's such a Mike thing.
But like, here's the thing: like, I
Don't
get
be
the
about
friend's
Kramer. I hate that
apartment because it's so well decorated. It's so cozy. Like, in my mind, at least, the apartments in
Seinfeld weren't great.
Seinfeld look very bare and kind of just like empty and sad.
Yeah, but you're getting the New York experience. You're telling me I get a New York apartment? Like, that's what I want.
I'll tell you this. I think about this a lot because
Yeah, game one.
I'm getting older.
What
And
are you laughing at?
He's getting chicken tender high now.
No, it's just Mike's burp and the microphone is killing me.
Mike's
Can I
been
have another
shitting in his
candy?
own mouth for the last like 13 minutes. Of course. I think about this a lot. I think about because I'm getting older, and it's true. And I think about the places in the world that I still would like to live, and New York is one of those places. And I don't know if I'll ever be able to make that happen for myself because obviously I love running the company, I love working with you all, and this is my livelihood. But I just like part of me. Whenever I'm in New York or London or any of those areas, I'm like, can I live my life for the rest of my life? Look back and go, I'm okay, or should I have lived in New York for?
If
few
you
years?
want to start a branch in New York, I'll follow you.
Nick, you just let me know.
Yeah,
really, okay.
I'll be there for like maybe a year or two.
Yeah.
I don't think I can live the rest of my life
So
in New
okay,
York.
so wait, let's back it up.
Yeah.
So we put the capital investment to build another studio like this in New York.
Yes.
And then we all just commit to 1 year.
Yeah.
Done. Okay, cool.
Hell yeah.
Then we
Easy
sell
peasy.
it.
That'd be kinda
Flip
cool.
it.
Or like we do another work from home year. You
Maybe
know?
2 years. 2 years.
Honestly, that was one of the things that I look back on, and I'm very glad we built the studio. It was a pain in the ass. We've talked about it multiple times. It traumatized me and leaves me with nightmares still sometimes. And it's very, very triggering anytime the gate or the AC breaks, or any of the leaks happen. But I love the studio, and I think it was absolutely the right idea. Looking back, hindsight being 2020, because now it's opened back up. It's an amazing space we can all come and create in. But there is an alternate reality where we didn't. There was a moment in like the late December when I remember signing a lease. I was going back and forth with the guy that was renting us the place at my brother's house when I was sleeping over for Christmas. And I'm like, if I had just waited a month, and I think we wanted to tell everyone in January, so that was the plan. We were like, let's lock it in. That way we can commit to it, and it forces us to commit, and we'll sell. Everyone out there will be super excited about it. But there's an alternate reality where that didn't happen, and we all just work from home and live wherever.
Oh, dude.
And then
I would
never
be-
talk to each other.
I would be gone. Like I would be in Seattle in like a heartbeat, or
Would
like
you?
LA maybe, or maybe I'll just be traveling. all
I'd be
night
LA
around.
or New York.
I wouldn't be
easily.
here. Rent is too high.
Well, I mean, LA and New York is
Well,
not great either.
You're right.
I don't know that you're solving it.
And
like-
Seattle's probably not the best either right now, but
Yeah.
still. That's the problem with the United States. Like any place you want to live, the rent kind of sucks.
I could also see myself like moving back to the Midwest, like moving back to Champaign, Illinois.
Really?
No, I don't know why I said that.
I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Now, after saying it out loud, I'm like, no.
I
Actually,
thought you were gonna go a different
You know
direction. Be
better
like,
than
I
that.
could see myself like actually trying to like live outside the country and like.
Well, maybe that too.
Yeah.
But the
Not the
reason why I say
Midwest.
Midwest specifically is because one, I grew up in Champaign, but then
Right.
also like very affordable compared to San
Of course,
Francisco,
of
right?
course.
Like maybe I could even think about like buying a house or some shit, right?
Yeah.
In Champaign, Illinois.
Yeah, I'm surprised no one brought up Fresh Prince of Bel Air.
I was gonna
You know
be
what
my
I mean?
answer.
Yeah, down
I didn't.
SoCal,
We
I
didn't
would
get to
love
me
that.
yet.
I
No
like
disrespect, though, but then you have to deal with Carlton.
Oh, that would be a blast.
Yeah, but I feel like that's one of the ones where you get to experience the joy of Uncle Phil getting mad at Carlton every now and then.
Fair.
You know, wherever
And then you
Carlton
watch
does
Uncle
some
Phil
bullshit.
throwing fucking
jazz out the door.
goddamn
Yeah.
door, just physically abusing your friend's best friend. I
God.
love that show, man.
Yeah, and you got to be friends with Will.
Are
Will's
we?
like the
Are
cool
we're
one.
all good with Will now, right? Have we forgiven Will from the slap?
Listen, I was never mad at Will. I'm not. I didn't want to be the one to say it.
You can say it.
Oh no, I can't.
There's been enough time. There's been enough time. It's fine.
No, I've always like the fact he was in King Richard, man. Like he put on good enough of a performance
Good-ass
where I'm like,
performance.
you gotta forgive
Isn't that
him.
sad that that's the one that like is so marred and it was so good.
It was such a good movie.
And you're like, well,
Oh, we
shit.
gotta forgive a few things. You know what I mean? Like when you put on a performance that good, you should be allowed to slip.
I
slap
also
Chris
feel
Rock.
like there was a big overreaction to that moment, especially like how Hollywood treated him after that. It was all very weird.
Yeah, I was never mad at Will. I was just tired of everybody talking about it so much.
Yeah.
Like still to this day, I still think that I have Will Smith mute like the term muted on Twitter because I just couldn't handle how much we talked about it for
That's
so
hilarious.
that was like one of the rare like
long. Give me another Diet Coke.
I don't know. You want what now?
Diet Coke, please.
Diet Coke, I got you. I don't know if I would call myself like the main character on Twitter, but like I became main character adjacent in that moment because I did put a tweet that like in retrospect I'm like, oh man, did not realize the impact or like the
What
amount
What was
of
the
say?
tweet?
it was something along the lines of like
Like #Will was right.
no, but it was that I love Will Smith, and it was after he had accepted his Oscar,
Yeah,
right?
he got the Oscar for
Yeah,
it.
he got the Oscar win, and like he gave a speech that was kind of like I forget exactly what it was, but it was him kind of apologizing, kind of like talking around it, but also kind of just being in his emotions. And like after that, I put up a tweet that was like, "Man, I love Will Smith." And when I tell you that, people jumped down my throat, and I was like,
I
"Man,
believe it.
Oh, I
yeah."
believe it.
Oh, they were mad.
Yeah.
It was to the point where it's like people who I knew online, right, from like just being adjacent, like in the media or whatever, were like really mad at me, and I was like, "Damn, I don't know, man. I just like Will Smith. What can I say? I don't know."
I mean,
Sometimes people slap people.
I mean, I mean, that whole situation was just completely bonkers. It was completely bonkers, and obviously, it was so much built into that with the relationship with Jada and the Scientology and all that stuff that's going on with them. Take all that out of it.
Just uncoupling or whatever they're like.
Whatever the
thing
fuck
was,
bullshit term it is for like we got married too young and now we want to
Yeah.
bang other people. Like,
Yeah,
come on, let's
entangled or whatever.
let's call it what
I
it
don't
is.
know what it
Unentangle yourself and go bang whoever you want. Like, Jesus Christ, your kids are growing up. Just go to therapy for Christ's sake. Having said all that, man, I watched Bad Boys all last weekend. Will
Oh my
Smith
God.
rocks, dude.
I mean, I just learned
movie.
Vanessa Hudgens is in Bad Boys 3 and 4, and so I got to watch those.
Bless
Not
him.
only did you
gotta
not
get
learn, not
on
only learn,
that.
but you vocally accused me of withholding that information from you. You said, Nick, why didn't you tell me Vanessa Hudgens was in 3 and 4? And I felt bad. I was like, I'm sorry.
I
should've
would have
told you.
watched it that night.
That's really
if you had
fucked
told
up
me
of
that.
you, Nick.
It is fucked up. I don't know why I'm withholding the Hudgens for myself. Well,
How dare you?
how dare me? She's a national treasure.
Blessing, do you have any other places you'd like to live?
Fresh Prince was gonna be my main answer.
Like that?
I don't think I have any like. This is like a different question, but like I like to go to the college and community.
Okay.
Right, like if I went to
yeah.
I started off in community college back in the day, and if
Yeah.
I could have like gone to the one in community, I think that'd be really fun.
You know why? Because it reminds me of. Did you guys ever do high school theater? Were you theater kids,
Adjacent.
Jason?
My sister was.
I
no.
did community theater, not high school theater.
It reminded me of that, where it was a bunch of people getting together, and it was like a familial, like very family environment. But you're kind of just low key wasting time, and that's okay because we're all wasting time together, and there's meaning in that.
I
That
love
was
that.
what theater felt like.
Yeah, I guess I was like much younger when I did it, so it
I just
didn't
remember-
feel. It felt like more like an activity than like a.
Oh, for
hangout
me,
thing.
it felt like theater. My senior year felt like I distinctly remember thinking like, this is the last time I'm going to have this feeling. Where I get to walk into a space and have all my friends be here, and we create this cool thing, and people legit look at us as like celebrities and stars and all that stuff. I was like, I'm never going to get that again.
People look at you
And
as
then your whole
celebrities.
life has been
And
there.
then I've been chasing
Your
it.
entire
I've been
life has
chasing
been
it
that.
because it's a wonderful feeling. It's a wonderful feeling to have some place to go to create.
When you were in high school theater, people looked at you as a celebrity and a star.
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. This sounds crazy, Blessing. If I'm lying, I'm dying.
He's lying, he's dying.
The whole football team, after I did our senior play,
Whole football team.
every few
You don't even have
days,
to tell the story.
Whole
The,
football
Every
team.
the fact that
few
you
days.
referenced
His
the
name.
football team killed Blessing.
every few days, one of them would come up to me and be like, "Hey, man, that was really good. I really liked you in that play."
Wow.
And they weren't
Damn.
bullying me. They weren't even ironically saying it. And I know that because the next year, 3 of them tried out for the musical.
Whoa.
And one of them got
Wow.
in. And they were like, "That was really cool that you did that." I bridged the gap between
dope.
dorks and athletes.
That's crazy.
That's dope.
I did.
you
I
were the
was that
chosen
guy.
one.
I was that chosen one. But I remember distinctly watching my brother because my brother went to the same high school I went to, but 4 years earlier to me. And I remember watching him being like, I didn't know normal people could do this. Like, it just didn't occur to me that like people that were celebrities just came from that. Like, they started someplace in like community theater or like acting like when they were kids, and then did that. And so I just remember being like blown away by the specialness and the
Dude, I
magic
think about
of
that all
putting
the
a play
time.
on. You know,
Like I think about
It's
like
really
the
cool.
like the coolest celebrities that we have, right? I think of like Denzel Washington or like I don't know Henry Cavill, and I'm like they were all theater kids.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, Denzel Henry Cavill's like he's been in some very very hardcore like Shakespearean British shit. You know what I mean? Like he's my wife's like, I know that guy from like the Tudors or something like that, right? Wasn't he on that show?
That sounds
he was on
vaguely
something like that,
familiar.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the
Not
fact
a-
that he comes out and he's Superman, you're like,
Not a
oh,
Henry
man.
Cavill girl.
You're not a Henry Cavill girl?
No. Like I understand objectively that he's attractive, but he like doesn't really do it for me.
I
So
see
I don't
again,
really,
it's because to me,
I don't know that I love him in anything maybe other than Mission Impossible.
I don't want to bring this energy into the group right now because we're having such a lovely conversation.
So
We
lovely.
are.
And me and Joey see eye to eye on so many things, but on one we diverge. Henry Cavill, I'm with you. I like him. I don't think he's got the charisma and the charm that I want him to have.
Some would say he doesn't have the charisma and charm of Glenn Powell.
Some would say that it's exactly like a Glenn Powell, and that Hollywood just continues to look for these blank slate, good-looking men who just don't got it.
Okay, well, Glenn's got it.
Yeah, Glenn's got
Glenn's
it.
got it.
Does
He called into the Glenn
Does he?
Powell
Does he?
lookalike
He's got it.
contest
I'm not seeing one Glenn
That
Powell.
man-
in
Man's got
Austin,
it.
Texas,
Blessing,
to
just be on my
say
side.
that.
I was on your side with Will Smith.
Was he in Top Gun Maverick?
Yes,
Yeah.
he was
Okay,
fucking
that's
awesome.
yeah, I saw
He's
that.
hangman.
He was awesome. Glenn Powell's awesome. But there's
He
something
also-
about like
he zoomed into the Glenn Powell lookalike contest and said that the winner gets a cameo in his next movie, which is incredible.
what the
yeah.
fuck is going on with these lookalike contests?
We're all about it right now.
I
dude.
love
We're all
that.
about
I
it.
saw the Timothy Chalamet lookalike contest. I was like,
See,
what's
that's why it
happening?
blew up. It's because he showed up, and then everybody else wanted to do one just in case the celebrity shows up.
Yeah.
God, that's just
I'm
sad,
having
It's
a
so
Vanessa
funny.
Hudgens lookalike contest.
Yes, bless.
Yeah, I'm throwing
At
it
your
out.
Start putting
apartment?
posters all over.
My apartment.
Jesus Christ.
I'd like to come hang out for that, Blessing.
Nick will be there too.
I'll come be a judge.
Yeah, Nick's gonna judge. I'm gonna judge. It's gonna be a good time.
I would like to
Where do
live
you want to
in.
live? Yeah.
I'd like to live in the X-Men
Oh.
mansion, the big school.
It's always being attacked.
Yeah, but like I'm there hanging out with everybody.
What's
you
your
know what I
power
mean?
though?
I'm just a normal dude. That's the cool part about it. Is I'm
So
just
you're
Mike.
going to go into a house
Uh-huh.
full of people who are terrified of normal people like
Yeah.
you.
Well-
because they've been ostracized and imprisoned.
Yeah, but
and
like
all that
it's
stuff.
Mike. You know what I mean? It's like we're all cool. We're all cool. I'm that one
Isn't-
cool guy.
Isn't having mutant powers like
Kind of a necessity for that.
yeah, for being admitted to the school?
No,
for
but
mutants?
he would get brought in on special recommendation.
Big
'cause
X
he would
were
be
cool.
he would be a great reminder of like, yo, normal people can be cool as shit.
Although
Yeah.
technically it would be weird for me to just move in with the Full House crew because considering they were all a nuclear family.
I
And
don't
I'm
know.
not related to them at all.
Joey
They're not
wasn't
really a nuclear fam. Like it was like kind of a progressive
The
family.
three brothers.
They're not brothers.
They're not?
So it's Danny, and then his wife was Jesse's sister.
Yes, yeah.
And
Oh my
Joey is
God,
just a
that's right.
friend.
Joey's just a dude.
And Joey just sucked.
Joey's just a friend.
Joey just is like a clinger on her.